Is that a new camera?
Yes, a new camera. Ellie Schwartz.
Excellent. Look at this guy.
Wide angle. Wide angle.
You can see the picture.
This is don't fit. Picture in picture. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, can we tell which is the shadle?
This one. This is natural. When did you get it? Oh, you got that last year. You bought
So is this.
Where's the real hair?
This is natural for now.
Oh,
this isn't.
Did we
But
powder
you
it?
can touch it. It
Did we
feels
powder
just
it?
like natural hair.
Let's see the powder come
It's
up.
a weave.
Let's see the powder.
Use minoxidil.
Oh, it's a
Razy.
It's a Monica beret.
She uses minoxidil.
It's a Monica beret. Let's see that citrus flying. Yeah, no. Casey Watts will be #1 soon. He's like the majority whip. There's no citrus flying.
Hi, I set her up. Did she say anything to you?
That's how I wasn't recording.
You tell me. I'll tell you.
Tell me about it.
I set Sheer up with this guy, a very sweet guy named David.
I'm sure she was going to.
Oh, she here?
You got to do it over. The
I want
cord
to
wasn't
find
on.
out. Wait, I'll find
The
out.
cord wasn't on. You got to do it over.
Where's Sheer?
We just
Wait. Stop the press.
Measured it, and then it looked like they beat her, but
All right, ready? Set it down. Going on film.
That's speech. Stop.
Going into the sports archive.
Should I send a picture to your brother?
What?
Would your brother want to see that picture?
Would my brother want to see? Oh, sure.
Say hi.
He's always tried to do this, but he can't. He's got a very greasy face. Very greasy. Lacey, I don't think that was there. Okay, ready? Okay, very good. So that's kind of a
Yo, look impressed. Yo, you got to look impressed.
Jacob Goldman.
No, that's not impressed. That's shoes. How
What?
hey,
They know my brother in Boston.
Send me another Rebecca Beeline.
Oh, you never met him? Just again?
I've been talking to her in
He's
email.
a bright.
You know her, like personally, like you know her where she lives. Never see her.
We were supposed to get together.
Travel from Brighton.
Let me get this.
Which is
All right, we're rolling.
rolling. First of all, if anybody can interpret a dream that I had, I
Louder.
I had a dream. I had a dream that there were 7 fat cows, and I was fixed up with every one of them. Now, does this mean I'm going to have 7 bad blind dates? I don't know. Okay. Now, Lacey wanted me to announce that because it's Motzi Shabbos Hanukkah and it's Rosh Chodesh and Hanukkah and the impeachment. Yes. No, I brought 4 bottles. Where's the 4th bottle?
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
I can only see 3 on the table.
They're gone.
Yeah, in honor of all that, Larry is going to deliver a.
Russia.
45 minutes.
Oh, I thought she said a present.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't have much tape.
Larry has a drasha, which we want to get. You have enough. Your batteries are good. You got enough film. Everything is good.
That's the point.
Thanks. Going into the archive.
Being broadcast simultaneously on
Oh, the Chabad's network.
QXR.
That's right. Okay.
I'm gonna do all the water first.
Okay. You're on. Rolling. Ready?
It's grape juice or wine?
That's good. It's grape juice.
Grape juice. Non-alcoholic. Non-alcoholic.
Went down so we.
New,
You got it finished?
new, this is tape.
Let's go. Let's go. The clock is moving.
Okay.
Something fell from the basement.
Santa's here.
Oh, wait.
Bloody nose.
Oh.
Wait.
I
Eyewitness news! Eyewitness news!
Okay, exclusive. Did Mrs. Lightman do this to you? I'm only joking. Only joking.
Can we get a statement? Can we get a statement?
All right.
Can we get a statement, please?
Don't touch it, please,
Wait
don't
for
touch it.
where?
All right, back to us, show.
We locked out his audience. We're gonna put it on hold.
He's fine, it's blood. Blood,
Are you gonna give it?
blood is always replaceable.
Wait, are you coming back for Abba? He's
Wait a minute, this is still bleeding. Tissues?
But
Here's the whole box.
make sure nothing's in his eye.
Camera.
Channel 5 News, right on spot. Who did it, Ephraim? Who did it?
Beagles, Hal. Jeremy, who are you? Alan.
We have evidence for loss.
Look in his eye. Make
Oops.
sure there's nothing in
Takes
his
down a
eye.
report.
Thanks, Lisa, I didn't think to do that
No,
first.
because there was the the
Thanks,
ceiling
Lisa.
piece
I
from the
didn't
light.
think that.
Wait,
look
is the
first.
bathroom?
You think he'd be able to hold open his eye?
Oh, did you bring the glasses?
No, I didn't. They didn't come.
All right.
Right, come here a second. Before you go down, don't.
We're rolling.
You're on.
Okay. What I'd like us to try to look at is what's the connection between this week's parsha, Miketz, Rosh Chodesh, Hanukkah. 2 years ago, in our last Chagiga, with
Excuse
all
me,
of you,
we were here last year. Just don't forget that we were here last year.
I know that, but last year we didn't have a Chagiga like this. 2 years ago, if you remember, we spoke about the fact that the Yavanim represent Choshech, represent darkness. However, other civilizations, the Romans as well as the Babylonians, who did a lot worse to us in terms of destroying the first and the second base of Mikdash, are not given that type of title, Choshech, representing Choshech. We spoke about, 2 years ago, we spoke about the fact of, because what was they trying to do? They didn't have an issue with the intellectual pursuit of Chachma itself. Their issue was in terms of they wanted to try to break down Yirat Shamayim. I was thinking about it a lot. I don't know if I could say over the last 2 years constantly, but wanted to develop that idea a little bit more. And I also wanted to tie it into the fact that there were 3 mitzvahs, as we know, that the Yavanim.
I know what they are.
Okay, so you get to say them. What were the 3 mitzvahs that they went after?
They were
Shabbos,
Bris Milah,
Right.
and Rosh Chodesh.
Dancing over the moon.
Wow, there.
Okay, keep that in mind.
He didn't form a question, so.
What?
Keep that. So keep that in mind. Keep that thought in mind.
Thank you.
Keep that thought in mind. That's going to be important.
I get pressure.
Okay.
What?
So keep that thought in mind. What was it that what the Yavanim were after? So one can say a very famous phrase, Ner Mitzvah, the Torah law. And this is from the Shlach Kodesh. So he says to us that the Ner and the Or, okay, they need to come together to get that flame, to get that beautiful light. And that's the combination that we need. You can't have just an individual just with Torah and he doesn't do mitzvahs. And on the other side of the coin, you can't have someone who just does mitzvahs but doesn't have Torah. You have to have both. So what the Yavanim, of course, were after was to destroy that. Now look at the 3 mitzvahs that they picked. They picked Milah, they picked Shabbos, and they picked Rosh Chodesh. Those 3 mitzvahs were told by the Gemara were mitzvahs that Am Yisrael accepted with joy. And how can you prove it? And this, by the way, the proving part is not for myself. This was something apparently that I think Zalman Beta gave over at one of the Sheva Brachos, from what I'm told. If you take the first letter of each of those mitzvahs, what does it spell? What is it the shoresh for? What word? No, not Mashiach. Come on,
Shin, well, what order? Shin, Beit, and Resh?
Shabbos.
No, come on. You have
Basar.
Come on, you have Chodesh,
Right.
you have Shabbos,
Shin.
yeah, and you have Milah. Simcha, Sameach.
Oh.
Okay, so what would they have to, let's get back to this. So what we see here is that the Yavanim, they understood it wasn't just the fact of saying to the Jews, they were a very organized government, and they respected Chachma. It wasn't they were saying we want to destroy the Jews. It wasn't even that they wanted to destroy the fact of having mitzvahs. What they wanted to destroy, they wanted to get to our hearts. The Rav Soloveitchik once said that there are 3 characteristics of an individual that symbolize or in terms of symbolizing what Yadus stands for. He says the head represents the intellect, the intellectual pursuit. An ignoramus cannot be, in terms of, I'm sorry, what? Right. I mean, you can't reach the highest levels of Yadus if there isn't learning involved. In terms of mitzvah performance, that represents the hand. And then, the heart, represents, in a sense, it says in the Gemara in Sanhedrin, God pursues our heart. God is chasing after our heart. And what does that mean? That God is... desires our heart. God desires our heart. So what does that mean? In essence, this is what the Yevonim understood. And that's why they were so dangerous. And only the Chashmonaim understood this. They understood that what was going on here was, Yevonim were very smart. They were targeting 3 mitzvahs that they knew that the Jews accepted the Ava with love. And again, to that 3rd level that the Rav talks about, the heart. And if they could destroy that, if they could go after that, they knew they could destroy us completely. So the Chashmonaim, Matisyahu and his family, they recognized that. They saw that danger when the rest of the people did not. And that's why it was such a difficult battle, because on the outside, to the outside world, what was so wrong in terms of what Hellenism and what it stood for?
Hellenism. We made a whole religion.
But this is what the family. This is what Hanukkah represents. There's a tradition on Hanukkah itself to marbitz Torah, and not only just marbitz Torah, to say a lot of chidushim, to say a lot of Torah, and to be very creative hopefully in the right derech, but to be creative, because that is what we're really trying to develop. And always you have to look at each chag, at least we try to do this, is to look at each chag, what's our takeaway, what I call the takeaway. And I think the message of Hanukkah is a very simple one, but a very, very, very important one. It's to try to reach that 3rd level, that it shouldn't be just the intellectual pursuit, it shouldn't just be the mitzvahs, it's getting to that next level. Rav Soloveitchik spoke about this back in the 50s and 60s, and he said that the problem he was seeing back then, and we still have it today with contemporary orthodoxy, as he spoke about, was he didn't feel that in terms of the heart, that he said there was a tremendous amount of learning going on, tremendous amount of people doing mitzvahs, but feeling it within our heart in everything that we do. And William James once said, great philosopher, feeling the presence of the unseen. How many of us really feel that? I don't know how many of you know, the Rav himself, Rav Soloveitchik, lost 3, his wife, his mother, and his brother, all in 1967. All at the same time. And he said that the only way he could have got through that, and to be able to deal with that, was that feeling that especially when he was learning, that feeling of Hashem being with him, that God being close with him. And that I think is the message of Hanukkah. The Yevonim, they understood that's the way to break us. That's the way to get to us. And that's why they went after specifically those 3 mitzvahs. That's the message. I think, we have tremendous challenges in the world we live in today to really get to that level. And I think, we have to try our best to create an atmosphere with our children and our families to be able to do that. And I think that's a big part of the message of Hanukkah. So let's hopefully ner mitzvah v'torah or, but when we have that flame, let's make sure it's a flame from the heart in everything that we do.
Jaya.
Yeah, all right.
Actually, Larry, related to that,
Okay, I'm like she's gonna get presents. Get on line.
One line.
Not only on the all right, what is your name? Jeremy, that's for you. What is your name?
I said thank you.
This is for you.
How about thank you?
I said
This is for you. This is for you. Hey, which boy?
Stand in line. Where's Ellie? Ellie, Uncle Moshe has for you. Come.
This is for you. More and more.
Ellie, got Uncle Moshe.
He's very nice. His mouth. Oh, that's his thing. He's very nice.
Well, invite what you want to invite. You want
But
to
you know what? Oh, now you have $10, Abby. Abby, you already have. You have $10. Yeah, we will. Where's Ellie?
Ellie still has his.
Oh, Abby,
Where's Crazy and
Hey, no more. Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on, Saba, hold on.
Sit down.
Wait, hold on.
Can I sit on your lap too?
all right. Crazy and Malky.
Whoa.
Hey, wait. Ephraim Siegel Schwartz. Where's Ephraim Schwartz? Shiny.
Crazy, crazy.
Shiny, you got education. Wow.
What, tuition?
You'll see.
Whoa.
Well, let me see. Oh, whoa. Nancy Drew.
Whoa.
Amy.
Whoa.
You gotta get this space. Hold on. Didn't you get?
Hold on, no, yeah.
Did you get your doll? Did you get the
Wait,
doll?
hold on.
Did you get the doll?
Did you get a doll? You got a doll for Amy's house.
Yeah? And you said you're not going to get anything, right? Because I gave it to you already. But here, I got you something anyway.
Oh!
Yeah.
Esty.
You a dead meat.
Esty, do you say anything to Saba?
You said.
Whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, hold on.
Wait, stop.
Oh, Ellie.
Wait, where's Malka?
Ellie.
We can't find them.
Ephraim Zachariah, let me
So hold on to it. Stay, Ellie, stay with Saba.
Ari.
Nobody can find them.
Ari.
The battery's dying.
Whoa.
Whoa, a domino game.
Joshi.
Where's Malka? Does anybody know where Malka is?
I didn't see them.
Where's Malka?
I was upstairs.
Can somebody go ask her to come down? Avi. Shani.
Jumbo.
Ellie.
What'd you get, Ellie?
Let's see.
Where's her darling?
Let's see. Whoa, look at that.
Oh,
Soon.
Where's Malka?
Malka, yeah.
Woo.
wow.
What do you say, Malka? Odelia.
That is good stuff.
Where's Odelia? It's a game.
A lot of fun.
That's it, right? That's it, right?
That's it.
No more.
She said, yes, she did.
Ephraim? Oh, sorry, Ephraim. You told me you didn't need anything.
I'm never going upstairs.
Brian goes to Israel.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
That's when when Larry takes him to
Kids. Hey, Lisa, you
And they also take Jeremy.
All right.
All right.
That's it till next year. We're signing off. With Sonic in 1998.
Mamas and the Papas.
The Mamas and the Papas.
I don't accept it.
I'll take his.
I don't accept.
I'll take his.
Some money for somebody
What
else.
do we got there?
Credit card?
Yes. I put them down this girl get a cow.
Your husband won't take it.
Everybody go into a corner. You gotta go into a corner.
Stop at Shaw's Bakery. Stop and Shop
Go
Bakery.
into a corner. You gotta go into a corner. You gotta go into a corner.
It's the Stop and Shop Bakery.
Do I get that too, though? I want it.
We're gonna have some music for the smorgasbord as we take a picture of it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Where's Liz? I know, where's Liz?
Hey, Naomi, this is the size television you're gonna get next. That's it. Nothing more. Oh, I guess it's the size you can get.
No, it was actually bigger than that.
Walk out of the show, and she has a
That was Joe's, the other one. That
Okay. As described, is now going to make a presentation. Quiet, Esther Schwartz is making it.
That's it.
Quiet, please. And then afterwards, you have something a lot of fun for all the children.
What? I know.
All right. Leash, shut up.
I didn't hear about that.
Check it.
Hey!
Quiet.
Para mi querido suegro.
Hey, watch your language.
De tus hijos. Sí, Yo-yo.
The only Spanish one we have is yo-yo.
Yo. Look, it's like this, Alan. Yo. Yo.
You're going to get
I'm not finished.
Wait. And now for the hard of hearing.
Para que hagas un árbol.
You don't see the piece that
Maybe a new walk. I hope this is it.
Wait.
Come on, open it.
Oh, $7.
What? Wrapping paper.
$7 a roll.
What's my bed? What's my bed?
Open it up.
Well, I want to take it good so she can use it again.
Don't worry. We got more of that.
You're going to get to do something.
Mother did it.
Okay. Say some mishmash. Save the wrapping paper.
You open it. Everybody's drooling.
It's from all his children, George. All his Georges.
Actually, it's something for people to have, so one of them will come in with the keys and take what they need. Now it's all use only, it says, you see?
You have to let him
At my age, it does not slowly.
Whoa!
What do you do with this?
George Foreman!
What do you do with this? George Foreman.
You make hamburgers, fish.
I ain't making hamburgers.
Oh, you can make your chicken cutlets, everything.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Champ.
when Shani and Raisy come for dinner.
Yeah, I think
Two.
Two, so I can't have you all over to the house.
That's why I told you, get a bigger one.
Thank you.
To the man who has everything.
Had. Did you take a pot? I have no film, Lise.
Oh, my.
Lise.
What is that?
I used up a film, I only had one roll.
You need film? Pickle.
Where is it back? Did you open the garage?
No, I don't need a bat. Just punch it.
Just punch it?
Maybe-
Okay, the same, just punch, okay. In a circle,
No.
watch what's gonna happen now, okay? Hold on.
Wait.
This area. Okay, get ready, you get your fist ready. Get your fist ready.
Wait.
Okay, first I want Avi to do for everybody muscles. Yeah, do the muscles, get everybody ready.
Wait, let me
No! You don't remember muscles? No, muscles! Okay.
Okay, everybody.
Muscles!
Nobody touches yet.
Are you ready?
Wait. Wait, Larry, wait. Alicia's getting something.
What is that?
Okay.
What?
Avi.
Hold on. Oh, is she getting a hammer?
Yeah. Make sure that everybody has room. Did I say a circle? Nobody's in a circle.
Circle. Put your right foot in, and put your right foot out, and put your right foot in, and you shake it all about.
Ellie, go next Avi.
Open the bag.
Open the bag so you can put candies inside.
It's all about. You put your tushy in. Put your tushy in and shake it all right. Okay, this is a typical scene at our door. Usually it's 2 nights a week, but they don't come with a bag. You don't know? They come with a car.
If you're not going to stay, then you're not going to get it.
It can be a circle if they got
There's somebody. No, you do it, not them, because somebody will
Oh,
kill it.
okay. Move, get ready, in a circle.
In a circle, Avi, back.
In a circle. Hold it.
Watch out.
Where should I go?
I don't want you crushing Amy.
Right here?
Come over here.
Do you have your...
You can't push it. Wait.
Oh, he has it in his mail.
We'll try this.
Probably one of these.
Okay, it's gonna hold it. No.
Hold it. Wait, Jerry. Larry, wait a second. You're...
Don't put hands up here, guys.
Do not put hands up.
Don't hit stop.
And one thing, can
All right, let's go.
no wrestling, you
Let's go.
Okay?
Make sure that all...
1,
You know that bill?
2,
Oh, someone took...
3, go.
All right.
Oh, Larry.
Somebody with muscle.
Larry.
Oh,
Let's go.
Oh, man. Oh, man, we need muscles here.
Yo!
Oh, thank you.
You ready? Wait, hold it.
Larry,
Okay,
just rip it open.
Here we go.
Larry.
Yo. We want yo. Go, hurry up.
Get ready, here we go.
The battery's going. Just rip it open. We got him. We're right in there. How about Ellie? I can't.
Here,
Ellie, get
Ellie, look here.
Ellie.
Here's the Ellie here.
Man, Abby is gone aggressive. I'm gonna rip right off.
It's weak. Ellie.
Amy!
Here we go. It's Hanukkah Cam.
Amy! Oh my goodness. Does anybody have ice cream?
Who wants the kosher stuff?
Who has a ring for Amy?
Put it in your bag, Abby.
She can have my ring. She can have my ring. You say,
Please look that all cousins got enough.
Did everybody get?
Did everybody get look at it? You know, see if we can help.
And who's gonna play?
Whoa.
You alright?
That wasn't an all right. It goes in there. It's everybody else.
Oh God, everybody's
All
done?
right, Bobby, you did well.
What'd you get, Ellie?
Okay, you got it ready. Another one? Okay.
Another one?
No, that's it.
I'll eat you all.
No,
The last one, the last one. All I do. Malcolm, no. I was two.
All right, let's have those happy faces.
$2.59. $1.39 or something.
Many more ramen.
What do you got there?